So welcome to my page. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Claire Redfern, and I am the owner of Inspired Beauty and Minds. So thanks for joining me. Hey. So I want to talk to you today about no makeup today. It's not a makeup video today. I want to talk to you about how you deal with opportunities and what your reaction is when opportunities present themselves to you, because I put a post on the other day on Facebook about how opportunities arise in lots of different forms. They arise all the time, and sometimes we spot them and sometimes we don't spot them, and quite often people say to me, oh, look, all these lights going on, I love this. Quite often people say to me that they are devastated that they've let opportunities pass them by, and of course as soon as I say but why did you let that opportunity pass you by, inevitably it comes down to fear of some description. It comes down to that they think they couldn't do it, or they think that they're not good enough, or they think it's too good to be true, or there's so many reasons. They think the family will or the friends will laugh at them most days. Do you know what? I don't know if I've got a filter on or not, but I'm liking the whole Insta thing. I've got sparkles on Instagram. I'm live on both at the minute, both on my Facebook business page and on my Instagram, which is new for me. It's cool. I like it. So I want to talk to you about how and this is going from my experience, but how I have gone from missing opportunities a lot. Don't it just irk you? And how I've turned it around now, and actually I look at opportunities in a different way. So I'm just going to quickly share this because it's worth sharing. So the first thing I think about when an opportunity comes my way, and I'm going to tell you how I deal with it as well. In fact, I'm going to write that down because I don't want to forget. When an opportunity comes your way, and an opportunity, it could be a new career, it could be a new job, it could be travel, it could be even an opportunity to go somewhere, to meet new friends, to build a network. It could be anything. Then let me shut that down. Get rid of that. Literally, it could be anything. And new jobs and new careers are often quite common because we tend to get ourselves in a bit of a rut, don't we? We do the same thing for such a long time that then we start to believe that we're not good enough for anything else. That happened to me. And I know that those people that sort of only know me of recent will think, really? Really, you? But it did. I stayed in the same career for 10 years, and you do become a bit institutionalized. You do start to think that you're not good enough for anything else. And it's all about that kind of story that we tell ourselves. So this is what I've started doing. I've done lots and lots of research on this, lots and lots of self-development, and looking at how I handle things and how I deal with things. And I've also helped other people to work through when an opportunity comes up, or even seeking out opportunities, which is a whole other thing. But because you can't just sit and wait for things to come to you, you've got to go out there and seek them and look for them as well. So one of the things I do is I question how it would make me feel if I was successful at whatever it is. So let's say, for example, it's a new career. It's a new job. Let's say it's a new job. So you get offered an opportunity, or you see a job that you think, wow, that is like my ideal. I'd love to do that. I ask myself a few questions. How would I feel if I was successful at that job? It sounds fab. It sounds perfect. It's got my name all over it. How would I feel if I was successful at that? And I get myself excited, and I start to dream. Now, dream like, don't ever let anybody tell you that dreaming is not an amazing thing to do, because it really, really is. I think we're often told when we're little that, you know, not to have high expectations of ourselves, or that's not within your reach, or you wouldn't be able to do that, or don't think that you rubbish. It drives me mad. Because actually, do you know what? A dream enables you to set a goal, and a goal enables you to set an action. And the only way you're going to reach your dreams is by reaching your goals and doing your actions. So for me, I think dream away. So I think to myself, this new job's come up. Let's say, for example, how would I feel if I got that job? I would feel, and not necessarily about the money. I might feel like it. So let's say it's more money. I might feel like I'm safe because I've got more income. I might feel like I'm more secure. It might be a permanent contract, and I'm not on a permanent contract now. It might be that I feel more empowered because actually I'm doing a job that's more aligned to my values and my beliefs. It might be that I feel like I have a sense of status. To some people that's really important. It might be that I feel like I'm making a difference. All these things that bubble up inside you that make you really excited, I capture them and I hold on to them for dear life, because it's that what's going to give you the courage to go forth with the opportunity. And then I ask myself, what is it that I want? What is it that I want? Not what is it about what other people think. So what is it that I want? Do I want a new career? Am I miserable where I am now? Is the job that I'm doing aligned to my values and beliefs? Is it paying me enough? Which obviously, you know, it's important for all of us. Do I like the people I work with? Do I like the tasks that I undertake? Have I got a good work-life balance? You know, what is it that I want? And does this opportunity fulfill what I want? And is it going to make me feel the way I want to feel? And if there is the slightest inkling that that's a yes, then I'm doing it. And I'm going to work out later on how, and the mechanics and the details and all that other stuff. I'm going to work that out later. And the reason why I say this is because one of the things that I've taught myself, there you go, filter's gone. One of the things that I've taught myself out of going for opportunities is because as a mum, I always think, I know, but I've got to get Thomas to school. I need to be able to do school drop-offs in the morning. Well, actually, I don't have to. I want to. And that's important to me. But I have got a way around that if I really needed it. Do you get what I mean? So you can talk yourself out of things for actually that really aren't that valid. They're not really that valid. The other thing that we do quite a lot is we give way too much control and way too much power to other people's thoughts and feelings and beliefs. Now, we all have different values and core beliefs. We just do. Some of them, or most of them, they might align with each other, and we tend to sort of gravitate towards people who are like us and like-minded and like us. Otherwise, we'd just argue and fall out. But they're not all going to be the same. And you don't know their fears and their self-limiting beliefs. You don't know, and people will project that onto you. They don't know they're doing it. They're not doing it on purpose a lot of the time. Some people do. But they will project that onto you without even realising it. So let's say the job that your ideal job, you love this idea, your ideal job is working on one of those really high cranes that you see in city centres. You know where the dude sits at the top and it's like, I can't even imagine how high up, but it's really like taller than a building high. If someone said to me, this job's come up and I'll be sat in this tiny little box on top of a crane, my gut instinct would be, oh my, I couldn't do that. Couldn't do it, don't want to do it. What happens if the wind blows? What happens if it gets struck by lightning? What happens if you fall? You got to climb all the way up there, then you got to climb down. That's even worse. Climbing up's all right. Climbing down, oh no. And unwittingly, I could project that fear onto you. Now, it's your ideal job. You didn't have that fear. You were like, I'm good with heights. I'm good with small spaces. I can stick my headphones in. I can listen to music. It's just exactly what I want. It's a beautiful skyline. I can see everything beneath me. That frightens me to death. And unwittingly, I can pass that fear on to you, and you then start to talk yourself out of applying for that job because, well, yeah, actually, what if? And it's all it takes. And your own inbuilt fear system already fills you with what ifs. Already got loads of them. You're already going through that all the time because your fear system is there to protect you. So, you know, you're already battling your own questions, and then you start to tell your friends stuff or whoever, and they accidentally pass this fear onto you. And before you know it, that opportunity's now passed you right by because you've let other influences affect what you want. And actually, that might fully align with your ideal. It might fully align with what you want to get out of life. But you let somebody else talk you out of it. And it's really subtle. And you don't see it. It's really, really subtle. And this is why I do the questioning, what do I want? And how is it going to make me feel? Because when I'm excited about something, when I've got a passion and I'm giddy and I'm like, I'm thinking about it all the time and I'm making a plan, because I was thinking about making a plan, I'm good, then I'm less likely to listen to that noise. To be honest, I'm less likely to even tell anybody because I'm off just doing it straight away. And there is something about the opportunity does love speed. You know, I have learned in the last 2 years to actually trust my gut. And you might call it impulsive. I don't think it is impulsive because I do make calculated decisions. But I do make my decisions quickly because I know what my values are and I know what my beliefs are and I know where I want to be and what I want to do and where I want to go. So I can make that decision quickly because now it's become, does that opportunity align with my beliefs, my values and where I want to be? Yes, it does. Well, it's a no-brainer. Then I'm doing it. Does that opportunity align with my core values, my beliefs and where I want to be? No, it doesn't. Thank you, then it's not for me. It makes it a bit more clinical but simple. And actually, I don't give myself time to talk myself out of it anymore because I do work on the basis that if I'm talking myself out of it, it's either because I'm scared of something or I don't understand it. I don't really understand what the offer is. And I have had that. I've had offers and I've not quite understood them. So I've sort of gone and stepped back. Actually, what I should have done is ask more questions, but you know, I didn't at the time. And then later on when the pennies dropped with me, I think it's an age thing. The pennies dropped and I've gone, should have done that. Shouldn't I? Should have done that. But, you know, we live and learn and it's fine. The other thing I ask myself is, what's the worst thing that can happen? What is the worst thing that can happen if I take this step? If I do this training course? If I book that flight and go on that travel? If I end a relationship? If I start a relationship? If I take that job? If I apply for that job? What's the worst thing that can happen? Now let's take the job example again. What's the worst thing that can happen if you apply for a job? You might not hear of them. Oh well. Not died. You might get an interview. That's great. You might not get it. But that's alright because you've still been for the interview. You've had that experience. You will have learned something from it. You might need to dig into it. You might need to ask them for feedback. but you will have an opportunity to learn from it. So that's not the worst thing that can happen, right? You might get the job, whoop whoop, but then you might not like it, or you might not feel like you've got the capabilities of doing it. Let's go there first. You might not feel like you've got the capabilities of doing it. Well, then learn them. Most people don't start a job as an expert. There's always some elements of it that they've got to learn. That might be company policies. You don't walk into a company knowing all their policies or all their values or all their beliefs. You just don't. So, you know, there is an element of learning, relationship building. You don't walk into a company knowing everybody, having those relationships made already. There is an aspect of learning that. So everybody starts as a learner in that situation, and that's okay. And one of the other main things, the real key thing, is you've got to give yourself a break. Stop putting so much pressure on yourself. It doesn't have to be like all or nothing all the time. You know, you go for the job, you get the job. A few months down the line, you think, oh, this is not really what I wanted. I thought it was going to be this, but it turned out it's that, and that doesn't actually align with my beliefs and my values and where I want to be. Doesn't. Shit. Well, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to look for another opportunity. I'm going to keep looking. The worst thing I have done in my career, which is 24 years old, the worst thing I did in my career is stop looking for opportunities. It was the worst thing I did. Worst thing. It was the most detrimental thing to my career. It was the most detrimental thing to my confidence, in my beliefs, in my capabilities. I was at the top of my game. I was really good at what I did. You know, I knew it all. I was influencing. I was leading on stuff. I was just doing what I wanted to do. But at the same time, it was too easy. So I started de-skilling because it was just too easy. And that's not where you want to be. You're never going to grow that way. You're just going to shrivel and then die. And who wants that? So, quick recap. What do you want? What do you want out of your life? What do you want? What are your core beliefs? What are your core values? And where do you want to go? Where do you want to be? When an opportunity pops itself in front of you, and they will, or if you're going out and seeking an opportunity, then does that opportunity align with your core values, your beliefs, and where you want to go? And if it does, then it's a blindsided yes. And if it doesn't, then you may not know enough about it, in which case you need to ask questions. Don't be scared to ask questions. People love being asked questions. People love to give their opinion, so they love to be asked questions. Or the opportunity is not for you, and that's okay too. And it might be that exactly the same opportunity pops itself up a few years later, and it's perfect for you. Perfect timing now, perfect. So, you know, and that happened to me too. That happened to me where an opportunity presented itself and I didn't take it, and then it popped up again 2 years later and I took it, and I'm in that now, and that's part of my sort of the beauty side of the business. And I look at myself and go, why didn't I do it 2 years before? But actually I wasn't ready then. I wasn't in the right space. What are your fears? What are your fears? What are you scared of? Write them down, because when you write them down, they don't come scary. That's what I always do. Write down what you're scared of, and then when you reread it to yourself, you're a bit like, really? Okay. Because you can break it down. Well, why? Actually, why is the best question ever. Yeah, but why? Yeah, but why? Yeah, but why? Best question ever. Are you doing what you want, or are you being influenced what other people will think? And don't forget that little nugget that, you know, what they think is their core beliefs and their values and their fears, not yours. So you can thank them for their opinion, their advice, their suggestions, but that's theirs. They're not in the situation that you're in. This is unique to you. So, you know, you go off your core beliefs, values. I'm going to keep saying that. And what's the worst thing that can happen? What's the worst thing that can happen? you know, as long as you're not, my core beliefs about, as long as I'm not hurting anybody, as long as I am being authentically me, as long as I am aligned to my beliefs and my values, and I'm not going against that, as long as I'm doing it for me and I'm not being influenced in a negative way, as long as it's positive, then I'm not harming anybody. If anybody else has got an opinion about that is negative, then I'm not interested, because I'm not hurting anybody. So that's my view on how to deal with opportunities. I see a lot of people in my network marketing business. I offer the opportunity to a lot of people because I think it's an amazing opportunity. I think it really, and I know it can really help people. And I see people turn it down like that, with no thought, with no questioning, with no self-reflection. And I know they're doing it because they're scared of something, or they don't understand it, or whatever. So my plea to you for the end of this video is to take your time and think about it. Question yourself. Write the questions down. Go back, rewatch the video, write the questions down. Because if that helps you to take that step into a new opportunity that changes your life, then this has done what it was meant to do. Okay, I'm going to leave you there. I am going to come back. I've got a whole list in front of me of ideas for videos just like this. So please, 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 I would be really grateful if you would share it, if you would like it, if you would invite your friends. Don't forget to click follow so you don't miss them as well, because I don't want you to miss me, obviously. So thanks for watching. If anyone's got any comments, my inbox is always open. Please drop me a message if you want me to cover anything, or any feedback is always welcome as well. And I will see you again soon.